Colours are to Baroness what math symbols are to Ed Sheeran. Weezer's still ahead of the game though, I think. Baroness's style of sludgy hard rock and alternative metal gives you bolder pushing energy, the kind that probably satisfies the hunger of those who think Foo Fighters are overstaying their welcome these days. I think it comes to the attention that while red and yellow and green and purple,
yo, those are the Teletubbies,
aren't fantastic albums to me, I can certainly say that they're good at what they do. Anthemic wails, huge sounding riffs that crash like giant waves against the coast, and strong melodies. Really strong melodies. Over time, it's become clear that the band have washed the grit out of their music with efficient hand soap. Even on 2015's Purple, considered to be a highlight in their discography because of how good it sounded in spite of the slicker production, none of those songs really impacted me more than they did make me feel kinda cool on the outside, but on the inside, I remain unchanged, and my intestines will still hate me for eating lunch for breakfast. What I'm saying is that while the music of Baroness is empowering in the moment, there's very little on their albums that lets the feeling linger for much longer after that. And by that, I mean memorable songwriting, really, which their recent music kind of lacks. So very little of it carries that much weight at all, the kind of worry that has me waking up in sweats in the middle of the night thinking about the last Queens of the Stone Age record, and on Golden Grey this issue has never been more apparent. The main complaint that I'd heard well before release day was the production job and the singles, something I rarely take notice to or even care about. If I feel the emotion in your music, that's usually good enough for me. A lot of well-off records have conventionally bad production, and it doesn't detract from the enjoyment. If a snare is off in the mix, I usually won't notice until Josh the blogger tells me. But more than that, I'm here to say that even as someone who doesn't pay attention to perfect mastering, this is bad mastering. It's mastering if you're the master of bad mastering. It probably sounds okay if you play it on speakers, but up against your ears, the guitar riffs on Borderlines sound as if they've been caked in the musical equivalent of eye crust. Instruments sound like they're in a blood-splattered gladiators arena fighting for space, or packed together like wet spinach. And this suffocates the impact of a lot of songs, even the short psychedelic interludes that are probably meant to pace the album with a little bit of poignancy, a little bit of deep breathing. But it turns out that the compressed production job crushes even the softest and most potentially beautiful instrumentals, akin to insulating a harp with a large pile of pillows. Above all though, this album is obscenely boring, an hour of hard rock that asks for your hand in a grand adventure and takes too long to get ready because they lost their keys. Interludes for pacing are fine, but in this case I don't really understand why they were needed. It ends up adding to the bloatedness of the track listing, and when the album is in its moments of action, it seems content to recycle the same songwriting characteristics until even the bin man is saying, oh for fuck's sake. Every song with the same vocal harmonies and the whoa, Arcade Fire, Wake Up type choruses only makes me think that I would have best just played the song Seasons 14 times to fill up the hour instead. Or maybe just anything else at all. Maybe that Future EP, but you're not ready for that one yet. It's time to be real. 3 out of 10 might be the one this time. More grey than gold.